We have for you a special battle report today. It is Chapter Approved 2019. We have the bone.
Yeah.
And because some of you have been asking, we have the spider.
Yeah.
He's returned, everyone. May the gods have mercy upon your souls.
Yes.
The puns will be flowing.
Yes.
The cheese will be here, and I will probably be in a huge amount of pain because I have to deal with these two idiots.
Yeah.
And your soul will be banished.
Yes.
For I am a brother of Titan.
Yeah.
And I...
You are a wet fish, sir.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Dear.
And I am a pharaoh, and you will build my pyramid.
Build the pyramid.
So it shall be written,
Yes.
so it shall be done.
Build my pyramid.
So, in case you can't tell, this is going to be
So let's do a dual pyramid.
one of those games. The Hammers of Titan. Or
Right.
there is, as always, no hammers in the Hammers of Titan.
Unfortunately, there isn't. Not even on my brother captain today. But we are the metaphorical hammer of Titan. You understand that, Chef?
Good.
And I will say that Chef has been using my beloved Grey Knights recently over and on demand.
Yeah.
And as a result, I have had to change all of the weapon loadouts to something which is far more efficient.
Excuse me.
Because when I looked at my glorious Hammers of
Excuse me.
Titan this morning, the weapon loadouts were very upsetting.
They were identical to what you have in front of me.
No.
Yes, they were.
Every strike squad had a Nemesis demon hammer in it.
Yes, on the Justicar.
No.
Yes.
No.
That
We do not waste our points
Listen.
on such frivolous things.
I have the 3 games that I've played with the Grey Knights. I've won 2. I have a 66% win rate. I'm happy with that.
Impressive.
Thank you very much.
Very impressive.
Most impressive.
Most impressive. Right. And then my Grey Knight suddenly becomes Sith Lord.
Yes.
Which would be kind of weird. That's more Thousand Suns.
It's appropriate for when I use anything, it suddenly becomes evil. Anyway, so let's get on
Life
with
in a
this.
nutshell.
Chapter Approved 2019. Grey Knights are one of the big winners, in my opinion. Some interesting points drops. Terminators and of course your humble Strike Marine have all gone down in points, as has your Grandmaster Nemesis Dreadknight, which was already one of your better units anyway. So I've got a dual Battalion.
Oh, yes.
Now the dual Battalion is, in my opinion, the kind of go-to for Grey Knights because it's such a CP-hungry codex. So if you're an aspiring Grandmaster, I can tell you now that you'll need a lot of CP to run, especially pure Grey Knights, to be efficient with them. And the only way you're going to get that with pure Grey Knights is with the dual Battalion, and even then you'll eat through them very, very quickly, especially if you're running things like, in my first Battalion, 2 Nemesis Grandmaster Dreadknights. I have given them the sword, which is pretty much the standard, still the go-to upgrades in my opinion. I've given them the heavy Psycannon and the Gatling Silencer, or the heavy Gatling Silencer. They do not have teleporters on them because after playing many games, and despite one of them being my Warlord with First to the Fray, for the 6-inch reroll charge bubble, I find it's better to start them on the board to allow some of your other units to deep strike, namely your troops. I like the fact that they can absorb a bit of firepower.
I like to shoot at them, so
You
this
do.
works out well.
And you still can, with Heed to Prognosticars, which is a stratagem, give one of them a 3+ invulnerable save, and then with Sanctuary you can give the other one a 3+ invulnerable save. So you can sort of protect them, buff them up, although you do need first turn for Heed to Prognosticars to be effective. Now, I've got the 2 of those in the HQ. I've then gone for 3 units of Terminators. Now, with the Shock Assault rules, yes. Grey Knights, Terminators are an iconic unit, so why not take them? I'm quite curious about the Terminators now. And in fact, if the Strike Marine hadn't also gone down, I would maybe consider running Terminators all the time. Because when you combo it with the new Shock Assault rule, the Halberd is a good all-round weapon, which is what I've taken, because that sweet spot of strength 5 means I can wound those toughness 8 things like knights on 5s, and then with a power like hammerhands, I can now wound them on 4s, quite effective. And I've got another way of getting an additional attack as opposed to putting 2 Falchions on them. So I've got the 3 units of Terminators. They are rocking at about 175 points now. Not bad for 10 wounds and a 2+ save and a 5+ invulnerable save. The problem is the Strike Marine is so cheap now. And I find that with Grey Knights, you want lots of little smites, as many as you can get. You're probably better off from a competitive point of view, although this is not a competitive list. You're probably better off just spamming Strike Marines because you just get more. But the Terminators are interesting to me, especially in things like ITC missions, which we'll have another tactical report coming up for you here on Freeview relatively soon. We'll do another ITC mission where you sort of deny killing more. The 2+ save does make a difference, especially if you're in cover. So there is an interesting argument for Terminators. Now, I'm going to experiment. I'm probably going to go and do a tactical on demand where I just do a pure Terminator list in an ITC mission with obviously some other garnishes just to see how it goes. But they are interesting.
Add some flavour.
Yeah, add some flavour.
A little bit of something.
A little something
on the side. Yeah.
So we do have 3 units of Terminators to fulfill the troops there. I then, in that same detachment, have a Paladin Ancient. Is the guy worth it? He's actually gone up a point, basically. Yeah. I do think he's worth it. I do give him the banner of Refining Flame, which is a Grey Knight relic. It is ultimately a 6-inch smite, but at full power of D6. D6 smite. Super. Yeah, so it's always a super smite. Which, look, is okay, but it's very swingy, right? You know, you might roll that 1 and you've just done a normal Grey Knight smite. But the ability to put out a potential of up to 6 mortal wounds, I think is really important, and it also synergizes with one of the other characters I take to ensure that I've got a good range on it. I also do really like the +1 attack.
Yeah, the +1 attack's really nice.
Yeah, and that, for me, that will be what I use to buff the Terminators rather than having the Falchions. So now I've got the inbuilt better strength. I've got an inbuilt extra attack with the banner of Refining Flame, and I've got the new Shock Assault rules for the Grey Knights. So all of a sudden, I've got the weight of attacks I need.
You've got 4 attacks.
Yeah, I think that's okay. So that's him. I then have the second Battalion. The second Battalion has the Lord and Saviour Kaldor Drago. He's just a little too good not to take with Grey Knights, where you don't have as many units as perhaps other armies do in 8th edition. And what we have is the reroll aura of rerolling all hits. So that's going to be really good.
Is he a reroll all hits or a reroll all failed hits one?
He's not been updated to so I am affected by the modifiers. Unless there's been an FAQ for Grey Knights,
no.
Which there hasn't been in a long time. So.
No, I mean, I don't think there's been any FAQs to bring those sorts of characters, like the Watchmaster, like Azrael. Yeah. I don't think there's been anything like that to make them a proper chapter master.
Exactly.
So you might just need to wait for a codex for that, which could be whenever. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, probably a long time. But you never know. We've got the new Space Marines and those supplements. So perhaps Grey Knights. Actually, weren't Grey Knights the first codex released after Space Marines?
It was Space Marines, Death Guard, Grey Knights.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, so in theory, you'd get Death Guard before.
Well, that's if they're going on the basis of updating in the order that they've released in. But we've got another minimum 3 books of Psychic Awakening every month, which is minimum going into March.
Yeah.
Now.
Which, having said that, we do know that Grey Knights, certainly been hinted at, are coming in Psychic Awakening, because all of the factions are supposed to get covered, right?
Yeah, they said that all the factions are getting covered. I know the 4th one was greater good. Yes. Don't know who that's going to be against. I think I can't remember what the 6th one was, but I'm sure the 4th one was like Ritual of the Damned, and they said it was going to be like Dark Angels and Grey Knights in that one.
Right. And did they actually say that?
I think so. I could be very, very wrong there, everyone. I'm not going to go and check it right now.
No. But look, in any case, whilst that probably won't fix core issues like stratagems, because we haven't seen Psychic Awakening change anything like the CP cost of things, it might introduce some better ways to play the Grey Knights. And having additional rules for us Grey Knight fans is only going to be a good thing, right?
A new Psychic Discipline would be nice.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
For your Psychic Marines.
For my Psychic Marines.
That have 1/3 less Psychic powers than normal Marines.
That's true. Yeah.
They should just have access to all of them.
Well, they should, yeah. They are the hammers
the,
of time.
the combos that you could do there would
Hammers
be
of time.
grim if you just, you see that Raven Guard Psychic power, I'm just going to use it. Why? Because I'm a Grey Knight.
Yeah, I think that's great.
It'd be nuts.
Why not? So anyway,
Drago's still a beast.
He is. He's an absolute beast. He's a must take, really, in my opinion. And then the second HQ is the Captain. So this is the character I was talking about, which the more I've used the Captain, the more I find him just critical in any Grey Knights list. He's got to double the range of your psychic powers, aura of 6 inches. And I find that depending on who you play, sometimes you don't want to deep strike, sometimes you start on the boards because they're an enemy that come towards you. And now all of a sudden I've got a 24-inch range, albeit 1 mortal wound smite, but they all add up. And of course he doubles the range of my 6-inch D6 mortal wounds to 12 inches, which means that the Ancient can deep strike in, and if the Captain's there, also get a smite off on the turn he arrives, which is really useful. Then I have 3 units of Strike Marines. These are almost grossly cheap now, but I'm totally okay with it. Given the power of your average Space Marines, I feel that the Strike Marines are now actually, I'm just going to say, I actually think they're a competitive choice now.
No, he said it.
Said
it here first.
At 90 points. They are for 5 with dual Falchions, and in your new layered shock assault rules, they're actually really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, they've got a good amount of firepower. They're storm bolters. Where I'm quite interested with the Terminators is always having that 24-inch.
Yeah. Double
rapid
tapping
fire.
always is really nice.
It's an interesting balance. My instinct says that just taking pure Strike Marines in 2 battalions will be better, so 6 units of 5. Because then it saves you up a lot of points for other stuff. But, you know, that's something I'll play around with perhaps in the tactical reports.
Well, I mean, you'd get 10, for 5 points more, you're getting 10 Strike Marines for every 5 Terminators.
Yeah.
So you're increasing the number of attacks, you're doubling the number of attacks if you go for Falchions, for lower strength, but you'll have more Storm Bolters, the same amount of wounds, but at a lower save, and obviously for every wound that you take, you lose an entire Marine rather than for every wound. It's a tough one. But then you'll also have more board coverage.
Correct.
And
I'll also have more smites.
You'll have more
if
smites.
I choose to combat squad them.
Yeah, and points wise as well. If you did it in this list, for example, you'd then have another you'd have another 300 odd points to spend on other stuff.
Yeah, and this list already saves about 230 odd points from what it used to be.
Yeah,
pre-chapter approved.
You just get another Grandmaster in there, basically.
Exactly. You know, and actually we have filmed a game where I do use 6 units of Strike Marines and 3 Grandmasters. So it's not a dissimilar list to this, but that's over and on demand if you guys want to check it out. So that's the 3 units of Strike Marines. I then have 3 Dreadnoughts with twin las cannon and a Dreadnought close combat weapon with the inbuilt Storm Bolter. Now, I think what I should do is have Venerable Dreadnoughts. You can't quite afford it in this list, but I mean, you know, I'm not pushing this list to the edge anyway. And I also think you should probably have a missile launcher on there, so that now with things like Astral Aim, I can hide one and shoot twin las cannon and a missile launcher without needing line of sight, hitting on 2s, very, very useful. That's probably the best way to do it, because weirdly the close combat weapon is actually slightly more expensive because you have to buy the Storm Bolter and the missile launcher anyway. But I like the idea that these guys can move forward now and they can fight.
Yeah.
And that's cool, you know, so why not? Plus, if I've got the Captain nearby, they've also got that 24-inch range smite. If they're not
they
doing
smite as
Astral Aim.
well, don't they? Yeah.
So, and this is why my philosophy with Grey Knights is to basically take everything that you can that can smite and that can do a psychic power.
Yeah, you MSU it.
Yeah, and so that means that unfortunately things like the vehicles don't have a place in my particular way of playing Grey Knights. But you know, I've used Storm Ravens and stuff in the past. Good fun. So look, that is the list. It is. I don't want to alarm anyone here.
Okay.
Especially my opponent, Mr. Bone. But it is 2,000 points on the nose.
I'm very alarmed. Very alarmed.
You could tell.
I'm very alarmed.
Are you alarmed there, Shep?
The thing is, I'm in a constant state of alarm.
Yes.
So, you know...
I'm not allowed to say it to you, though, am I?
No. Because I think you guys have never really seen me relaxed, because I'm always alarmed. I'm actually a very chill person.
That's constantly alarmed.
Well, no, only at work.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We should probably take that up with HR. That sounds like a...
Oh, no, well, you know, it's just one of those things, isn't it?
You told me the other day that you dislike playing me and that you're always particularly alarmed when playing me, and I'm not allowed to say to you.
No.
Don't be alarmed.
No, because you always say,
You
I
just
don't
did
want to
like 4
alarm
times.
you. And I'm like, well, obviously I'm alarmed.
Yep.
It sounds like you do want to alarm me, actually.
It's the mind games. You're trapped in the spider's web and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, look, that's a pretty solid list in my opinion. The points dropped, what, 230 did you say?
Yeah.
That's not an insignificant amount,
It's not.
really. And that's pretty much across the board, isn't it? Like every unit in some capacity has received a points drop, I think.
If every unit bar the Dreadnoughts in this particular, and the Ancients, and Drago's the same. I think the Captain's about the same as
the Dreads would have dropped points because their Fist has gotten cheaper, has it not?
Oh, you're right. The Fist this loadout has gotten cheaper.
Yes, this particular... The Dread itself has stayed the same, but if you were going
Dread
for a combat...
used to be with this loadout 10 points more.
Yeah.
So the combat weapon which they've rightfully done, they've reduced in points, but the missile launcher is actually still technically cheaper because you have to pay for the storm bolter.
Yeah.
I mean that's fine.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there, really, a couple of points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's good though. They needed the points drop, but they are not the only army that received quite a hefty points drop. And I know the list that you have written, Mr. Bone, has a similar number of points drops.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same.
Well,
That's crazy.
we don't want to alarm you.
Maybe you should be alarmed.
I don't get alarmed. I get ready.
Necron list.
Well, now I'm more alarmed.
Let's just do the Necron list then.
So alarmed.
The Necrons!
Yes! Sculpt that Sphinx!
They're space Egyptians. It's the greatest thing ever.
I get it. Trust me, I'm all about their fluff. I love it. But there's no pyramids, there's no sphinxes being built today.
They definitely have them though.
Well, yes, but not here. Maybe that's what they're trying
They're
to do.
off. No, because everyone's off building the pyramid, sculpting this. These are the warriors.
The Necrons don't actually have any Sphinx-like.
No.
Yeah, I feel
Machine.
like they've
Pyramids
missed a trick
you do.
there.
They've got the pyramids, yeah.
Yeah, pyramids are
I feel
definitely
like they've
good.
missed a bit of a trick.
Oh, a giant, like, necro-robotics, like, sphinx animal type thing would be really,
cool.
really
How
cool.
cool would that
And
be?
you do it as like a canoptic type unit. I mean, I
Yeah.
get like I would like to see someone convert up one of those Forge World ones as like some big sphinx looking guy. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Someone do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then send us pictures.
Yeah. Or the model.
After you've sent
We'll
us
just take
pictures.
that.
Yeah.
I want it. I want it. It's mine. Right. So here is the list. I am running a single battalion today.
Running a single battalion!
Only a single one. And I'm also running an outrider. Let's try that. We'll see if that sticks. Yeah. So in the battalion, I have I've got Imatech, the Storm Caller, Storm Lord.
Storm
rather.
Lord, yeah.
But I call him the Storm Caller because he'll be calling that storm. He's a great character. He can do my will be done twice. Call the storm. He's just awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously running Saltec today as well. Second HQ in that is a Cryptech. He has a Chronometron, which is quite nice. And I've also given him the Veil of Darkness, so I can do some teleporty shenanigans during the game, which should be pretty cool. We go on to my troops. I have 3 units of 10 Tesla Immortals. They're amazing. Even against an army which has a lot of 2-up armor saves, I will just drown you in Tesla.
Yep.
And you will die.
Yeah. You will eventually fail 1 or 2 of those 30 plus saves that you're making.
Yes. So that's the plan anyway.
That's not very nice.
It is nice. It's very nice. So all of the characters seem to have got points drops, which is quite nice. Pretty much. I think the Cryptek.
The Cryptek remained exactly the same because reasons, but everyone else got cheaper. I think Imhotep got cheaper.
Yeah.
Normal Lords got cheaper. Overlords got cheaper.
Yeah, they all
of the special characters
10
dropped.
to 20 points,
Yeah.
and then their weapons did as well. So
which is good. They were way too pricey.
Way too pricey. So that's cool. So I'm already saving a lot of points just with my HQ choices in this list. Immortals the same. Then we go on to the Praetorians in my elite slot.
Love the models.
Fantastic models, and now they are significantly cheaper. So they a unit of 10 used to be 260 points, it's now 200.
Yeah.
And that makes them interesting. They're pretty good in combat. And they're also pretty good in shooting. Strength 5 -3. Sure, it's 1 damage and it's only 12-inch range. But
It is assault.
it is assault, and they're moving 10.
Yeah.
I really rate them now. I think they could have a place in some lists. I still don't think they're quite competitive, but they are good.
Yeah.
They're good. For a game like we're playing today, I think they'll definitely do some
It
work.
should be high damage in combat.
I think so. I think
Look
they
at the
should
size
be,
of those weapons.
I think they should be damage 2.
I'd like to see them as damage 2. Like, I mean, the problem is it still comes down to, do you take the staff or do you take the caster and the void blade? The problem is for 2 points more, you get a better strength, no AP, sure, but you're a pistol weapon, so you can fire that into combat. It's still only 1 damage, but you get the same strength, the same AP in combat, but an extra attack. I'll take that every day over the staff. The staff should be something different and go, that's where you damage 2. So you go for more attacks at less damage, or less attacks but better quality.
Yeah.
Similar principle with the Lich Guard in a way.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, but that's what we've got modelled, so we'll see how that goes. I then have 2 Night Scythes. They've dropped about 20 points each, which is pretty cool. Again, I don't think you're suddenly going to see them everywhere, but it's they're nice units to have. And Tesla Destructors are no joke. When they go off, they kick out a lot of shots. We then go on to the Outrider. So I have an Overlord in there. I've given him the Void Scythe, which is just because he has one modelled on him. And I've also given him a Resurrection Orb. Now they've dropped significantly in points. They're only 18 points now. They used to be 35,
Wow.
I think.
Okay.
Which was nuts.
Yeah, so
You never took them.
Yeah, so that's cool. So I've got one of those, which is good.
I think they're a lot more interesting at 18 points.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't get a chance to use it before, you were like, oh my god, I've spent so many points on this thing that I just can't use. At 18 points, it's a little bit more forgiving, and then when it does go off, it's so good.
It's really, really good. So, I've got that, which is nice. I've then got a Lord in there as well. He's got a Staff of Light. Cryptek also has a Staff of Light. We then move on to the fast attack choices. I have 2 units of 5 Wraiths.
Yeah.
They've had a points drop as well. I think they dropped about 6 points.
Yep.
I always like Wraiths. I think they're really good. They have to be dealt with, and they can be quite difficult to move. Because of their 3-up invulnerable.
Yep.
So 2 units of 5 is nice. So you'll be advancing and charging one of them, and then the second turn, this next group goes in. So I'm interested to see how they go. I really like them. I really like them a lot. I've then got a unit of 6 destroyers. Exactly the same points. They didn't need any points dropped on those guys.
I disagree.
You think they need to be cheaper?
They needed to be cheaper.
I don't know. You run a unit of 6 with them, and then you put the CP on there for Talent for Annihilation or whatever it's called.
Extermination.
Yeah,
that's why I think that they're priced as they are. I would rather see Extermination Protocols go up in CP and have the Destroyers drop in points, because they still have the same issue that all Necrons have, in my opinion, which is they're very expensive for what they do, because you're paying for Reanimation Protocols, which is super easy to counter, generally. But they are still a super solid unit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, they can kick out a lot of hurt. So I'm happy with that. I think they're good. Yeah. I think that's the list. Now prepare to be alarmed, everyone, and you can just get ready. It's 2,000 points on the nose.
Oh! It's a 2,000 pointer versus a 2,000 pointer. Chapter approved 2019, helping both armies. How many points did you... I know you said it was about the same.
Yeah, about the same. Like I think it was somewhere between 220 to 30 points I've shaved off that list.
So
it does feel fuller.
Yeah, it
this
does.
list. It really does.
Well, again, I mean, that's basically, you would have run this list, and now you've gone, cool, I now have just 10 Praetorians in there.
Yeah,
Great.
essentially. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one because therein also lies the problem, right? Because if everything just drops in points,
Did everything drop in
then
points.
nothing actually
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Because it's actually effectively the same.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think that some critical units for armies like Grey Knights have dropped in points.
Yeah.
Which makes them far more playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see how the old meta washes out.
It's
Yeah.
it is an interesting one, as you say. If everything drops, then has your army really...
Well, nothing's changed.
Nothing's
because
changed.
You'll be facing also more efficient armies. So you've gotten
Yeah.
more efficient, but relatively you haven't because so have they.
Or you're playing against Space Marines who didn't receive any points drops, but quite
didn't
frankly
need to.
didn't need to.
Exactly.
That would have been
Bananas.
quite scary.
Yes.
That would have been alarming.
That
frankly.
I would have been alarmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would have
You
been
know
alarmed.
that it would have
Yeah.
been bad.
Yeah, I would have been very alarmed.
But look, those are the lists. I think they're both very interesting. Some staples in both of those. I'm very interested to see how 15 Terminators plays out. I'm probably more interested to see how 30 Terminators play out when you want to get around to doing that.
Yeah, that'll be a Tactica. We'll do that. We'll do that on demand as a Tactica.
Yeah, no, I look forward to that one. But for today's game, let's find out what mission our commanders are going to be playing, and let's see if these points changes do the business that they hope it will. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. This poor abandoned Imperial city outpost. You can see the landing pads and the bunkers, some semblance of a defense, but perhaps it wasn't enough. The Necrons have probably cleansed the life completely clean from this place, and then they went back to sleep because they're basically just crotchety old men. All they want to do is be left alone.
Yeah.
It's pretty much Bone in a nutshell.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. Answering the summons for aid comes a contingent of Grey Knights. Perhaps not their usual foe. Maybe they were just in the area. Maybe they just wanted to come along and clout some people in the head. Who knows? Perhaps the talk of the magical and the sorceress was but a incorrect statement by the foolish citizens of the Imperium, confusing the technology of the Necrons with that of the foul sorceries of chaos. Which could be why you're here, or perhaps you just like to have a good fight.
Yes.
So we are playing, as you can see, a search and destroy deployment, and this is the 6th mission from Chapter Approved 19, Maelstrom of War mission. So this is Schemes of War, and it is specifically called Confined Command. So in this one, as I'm sure you are all aware, you play Schemes of War, you have your deck minimum of 18 cards from the Maelstrom objectives, and Confined Command's specific twist is at the beginning of every player's movement phase. After they have put 3 tactical objectives into play, their opponent can pick one, put it back in their hand, and they have to play another one instead. So it could be quite a cagey game here. If there was something like Kingslave, for example, and the opponent's warlord has been killed, then you can pretty much just spend the rest of the game putting that back in their hand and stopping them from achieving it. But perhaps they may then force your decision by putting in an even better card. So it could be quite tricksy here.
Very tricksy.
It could be indeed. Fingers are raised due to the tricksiness.
Yes.
Now currently, the Spider is the attacker, which means he has the choice of who goes first. Knowing that, the Bone has deployed quite defensively here, but still in a position to perhaps get into a good standing if he is to be given the first turn. Mr. Spider, what are you going to do?
I'm going to give Mr. Bone first turn.
Oh.
And I'm going to prepare my positions.
Oh. 2 CP being spent there already. So we're just going to draw up the cards and then we'll have a look and see what shenanigans will happen. Is there something else happening, or are you just pointing for shenanigans?
Shenanigans!
I've given my Captain the Soul Glaive as well, so I spent 3 CP.
Oh, you just forgot that in the list. Very good. You should be ashamed of yourself. The Necrons' turn 1 begins. We have Supremacy. Good start there. We have Slaughter the Living. Might be possible, but with prepared positions and the distance, maybe not this turn. And we have Secure Objective 6, which is this one here in the center of the board. And there are some Wraiths here which could potentially go for that. So those are the cards, or are they? The command has been confined.
I get that back.
It goes back into his hand,
I
Lawrence.
get to keep that. Ah! So alarmed.
Magic!
So alarmed.
You cannot have it!
And just like that, Supremacy has become Secure Objective 3, which is this one there. So still certainly an achievable point. And now the Spider knows that there is a Supremacy in the Bones hand. So again, this is another little tricksy part of this mission that could always play into your opponent's favors.
Yeah.
Is there any...
Or is it that I wanted Secure Objective 3, which
Yeah.
is just there?
No, you wanted Supremacy, obviously.
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
The March of Death for the Necrons has concluded in this movement phase. Before we did that, we did do My Will Be Done, because we've got 3 ways of doing it now. We've got, because we have Imotech, he's able to do it on 2 units. So he did it on 2 units of Immortals, and the Overlord as well did it on the unit of Destroyers. Where are they, you may ask? Well, at the end of the movement phase, zoop, over here, the Veil of Darkness. The Darkness of the Veil.
Yes, it's a very dark veil.
Indeed. So here they are. So for reference, everyone, the buildings, we are counting these as ruins because that's generally how we've always played them. So they are perfectly eligible to be up there because they have fly and are infantry, which is just bizarre to me. Who knows how that works? We've zoomed along here with the Night Sides, that's their name, and then everything else is basically advanced due to not being in range. So these 2 units were My Will Be Done. They have assault weapons, so if they are in range, they will be hitting normally.
They are not in range.
Okay, never mind. And this unit is obviously not in range, but that's pretty much it in terms of the movement. We do have some shooting to come. I imagine it's only really the 3 units that are over here. We'll be right back. Let's see what they can do. But of course, starting with the Destroyers. Extermination Protocols has been activated because, of course, we're just going to roll for Hyperlogical Strategist. Does that get restored? No. But re-rolling all hits and wounds is pretty grim.
It is.
What are they shooting at?
The Grandmaster.
Okay, is this the Warlord Grandmaster?
He is the Warlord.
Okay, that could be a problem.
Yes.
That could be a big old problem.
I am confident.
Time to die.
So we are hitting on 3s, re-rolling everything. Which is a really good thing too.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Well, I don't know, that's pretty below average if we've had it.
Oh,
A few misses
yeah. Here we go, though.
Okay. Dropped a couple, but it definitely paid off there.
Yes.
You're now needing, what's their toughness?
Toughness 6.
So 4s to wound, but re-rolling. Oh dear.
Off the board. Okay. That is a bit better. Okay. So that is... Oh, I don't think I re-rolled that one.
No, I don't think you did.
Thank you very much. So that is 14 wounds, my friend.
Okay, 14 wounds.
9.
They're at -3, so this will be a 4-up invuln save for the Grandmaster here.
Alright. Here we go. For Titan. We fail. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
And the damage is D3?
it is.
Okay, so let me just work something out. So even if I re-roll 1, the average says I probably still die. I will let you have it.
Okay, very good. So how many wounds do they have in total?
12.
12. So 8d3 damage.
Okay.
So that is 6, 8,
15 wounds.
15 wounds.
He is killed.
He is destroyed. I don't believe they blow
I don't
up
think
for
they
some
do blow up.
weird reason. I'll just roll anyway.
Okay,
He
well,
would blow up
we'll
if he
double
could.
check that. But that
That's
will
Warlord.
be First Strike and Warlord.
Yeah, they don't blow up.
Horrific. And they don't even blow up for the trouble.
Yay!
Horrific first
No
start
Grey
there.
Knights.
We move swiftly on to this central night scythe. Solar Pulse has been employed here to grant it ignore cover, so it will bypass the prepared positions of these Strike Marines.
Yes.
So, we have...
Lots of 6s would be nice here. Ah!
Okay, only the 4
4
hits
hits.
there. It is freeze to wound.
It is 4 wounds.
It is 4 wounds of a normal 3-up save.
4 wounds.
Okay, so only
3
one
saves.
is
One-
dropped.
Okay.
Do you restore that command point for Hyperlogical Strategist?
I
No,
do
you
not.
don't. Okay.
Okay, and then this guy will fire into them as
Okay.
well.
So they will get cover against this
Yes,
one.
and of course that's where I get the 2 6s.
Yep.
Every time.
So an extra 4 hits there. Looking for freeze now. Dropped a couple.
Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds.
6 2-ups here. Drops another 1.
Okay.
2 have been removed. Is that your shooting done?
Yes.
Okay, and the turn.
Tis but a scratch.
Tis but
But a scratch.
So, looking at that then, we do have secure objective 3 here. We do have secure objective 6 here. We do have Slaughter the Living because we killed a unit, as well as First Strike and Warlord. That is 5 points on the board for the bone.
Oosh!
A very good start.
Oosh! Build that pyramid!
The Grey Knights, turn 1. We have secure objective 2, which is there. We have Psychic Communion, a great card for them, and Blood and Guts. Could be tricky, but there are possibilities. But the bone now gets to decide which one to put back into his hand. Psychic Communion, of course.
Put that away now.
But I want to commune in a psychic way.
You're not allowed.
You're not allowed.
I
but
have denied it.
you
It's
do.
been denied.
You do, however, get to put it down another card from your hand. What's it going to be? Why don't you have a think about it? We'll come right back. Perhaps the communion with the psychicness was all a ruse. Supremacy has taken its place. Actually quite doable, because we're already holding 1. Aircraft cannot contest, and there are 2 options in the sort of central line of the board. That would coincide quite nicely with Blood and Guts. So it could still be a D3 option here. A little trickier perhaps to achieve than Psychic Communion, but alas for the bone, not a guarantee. We've got a movement phase for the Grey Knights coming right up. And that is the movement phase completed. Able to bypass the Night Scythes that are flying straight over ahead. 2 of the Dreadnoughts have accompanied the Grand Master forward, looking to engage the Wraiths, both to steal that objective in the centre, as well as potentially score Blood and Guts. We have gone to support with the Captain and, of course, Drago himself. The 3rd Dreadnought has moved to hold this objective here. Finally, the Strike Squad have just come round the corner in order to hold this objective still, and remain potentially out of line of sight of the vast majority of shooting. That is the movement phase. We can kind of see where the plan is going, but we have some psychic softening to do first. We will be right back. Let's see what the Grey Knights come. The Grey Knights psychic phase will begin. Where are you starting?
Right, well, I'll start with an obvious one. I'm going to cast Sanctuary on my Grand Master.
Okay. Who's that coming from?
It's coming from him.
Ah, very good.
That's about his power.
Ah, very nice.
I will use Psychic Channeling on it, which is 1 CP, just because I want it to go off.
Sure.
That gives me 3d6, picking the highest.
Very good.
So here we go.
Okay,
It
definitely goes off with the +1 and an 11. There are no denies in this Necron army. A 3+ invuln, very tasty. We come to the 3rd of the Dreadnoughts. A smite is being cast upon this Night Scythe because he is equidistant, just over an inch away from both Night Scythes, so he gets to choose, and this one will of course be closer to the rest of the smites coming in.
Yes.
Makes sense to me.
Smite. You are smitten.
Okay, well that's a big old smite. It's a peril smite.
That would be a perils on myself, so I will actually use a CP to re-roll it.
Sure.
I don't want to just take the wound.
Okay, I saw the 6 bounce there, so it was a bit dicey. But a mortal wound. The pain train has begun. More smiting coming the Night Scythe's way. From that Dreadnought there, it does indeed go off another mortal wound.
I'm happy to proceed.
Let's continue.
Smite from Drago.
Drago smite. Even with the +1, that's a no.
Okay, then we'll do smite from the captain.
From the captain, that is a definite smite. Another mortal wound inflicted.
And smite from the Grandmaster.
Indeed. That will go off. Another mortal wound.
Okay, then Drago will cast Purge Soul.
Purge Soul. Okay.
He's going to cast Purge Soul.
Okay.
I think he is in range of the Wraiths, but I'll just double check that because he might not be. No, yes, he definitely is. So
Okay.
we will cast Purge Soul on the Wraiths.
All right.
Purge Soul.
The
5 to
soul
7
that
hits.
is non-existent has been purged. So what does this
We got a
do?
D6 each, and it's adding our leadership.
Okay, so your leadership is
9.
9. Okay, that is
I got
a
4.
a 4.
So I got 15. You rolled a
okay.
1. I don't know what the Wraiths leadership
10.
is. I think it's 10.
It is 10. So you.
take 4 mortal wounds.
Oh, it's the
I
difference.
believe it's the difference. If your target's total is equal to or higher than the Psychic total, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
The Psychic total is greater than the target's total. Target unit suffers a number of mortal wounds equal to the difference.
Ouch. So yeah, 11 versus. What did you roll? A 4 leadership 9. You say for Drago?
Drago's leadership 9.
So that's 13 difference there. So you rolled a 13.
I rolled a 1.
And 11.
He's
So
on 11.
he takes 2 mortal wounds then for the
Ah,
difference.
yes, of course. Why did I say 4 then?
Because you cannot mathematic.
Apparently.
And finally, we just have a smite from this Dreadnought here.
Yes.
It is indeed a smite. Another mortal wound on that Night Scythe.
The Strike Marines, yes, they're also within their 12-inch smite
Ah,
range.
yes, it is a 12-inch range. Another smite.
Ah!
So he is down to 6 wounds remaining.
You degraded him!
Huzzah! The shooting phase will begin with this Grandmaster. And it is a Psychic Onslaught. 2 CP, but it increases both of his guns' AP by 1 and their strength by 1. It's not a bad stratagem, just a bit expensive.
2 CP.
It's 2 CP.
It's 1 CP over price.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right, heavy Psycannon first of all. Firing it destroys. We cannot reroll 2s. We get 3 hits. To wounds.
Okay.
Only 1 wound.
Okay, and that's at -2.
-2, so we get a 4 up save here.
Yes.
That doesn't ignore cover or anything, does it? That's
No.
not that one. Okay, cool. 4. I get a 6.
Saves it on a 6.
Right, and then 12 Gatling Silencer shots. Can reroll 1s. Cannot reroll 2s.
So for those wondering why, it's because you reroll failed hits, not reroll hits.
Your toughness is 5, isn't it?
It is.
Correct. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds.
5 wounds at -1.
Okay, looking for 3s. Okay, I do drop 3. That's 1 killed.
It's D3 damage.
D3
That's D3 damage. I see. It could be
So,
3 killed.
The first one, I'll use a CP to reroll that.
Okay.
actually. So yes, that
Alright,
kills one.
Okay, so 1's
one.
killed.
Okay, puts me down to 4 CP. The second one, that's 2 wounds, and then yeah, the third will kill.
Okay, so it does kill 2 there. Not too shabby, could have been a lot worse there for the bone. The Stormbolters now from the Strike Squad into the Destroyers just in range there, looking to try and get another cheeky one killed.
It's a hit.
Not bad. 5 to win though.
1 wound.
Only the 1 wound, and they do have a 2-up save. Which they are fine with. Dreadnought then, Stormbolter into the Destroyers. My brain froze for a moment there, as well as the Las Cannon.
Yeah, actually I'll switch it. I'll make it Drago first.
To Drago. Oh yeah, no, of course he has a Stormbolter.
Can reroll. All hits. And
Ooh,
3 wounds.
3
Triple
wounds.
6.
Very nice.
Some would say that's ominous.
Takes
1
a
is
wound.
killed.
It is 1 wound down.
Gone down to 1 wound, no? Oh no, I did finish him off.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
point. And then this slow captain.
Sure.
Rerolling because Drago. Okay, 3 hits. The 2 would have hit. I don't know why I rerolled it. Right, that is a 4 in here, so that's a fail.
Okay.
All failed wounds.
No wounds
Right.
there. So now we come to the Dreadnoughts.
Yes.
everything into the destroyers.
All right.
Stormbolters.
All hits. 2 wounds.
Two wounds there.
Makes them both.
The cover working on them is very
Barrel-like
nice.
Cannon. 1 hit. Can re-roll that.
Yes.
Because he's not vulnerable. Misses anyway because he moves. 2 wounds.
It is a wound.
Cool. So because of the chronometron, I get a 5 up invulnerable here,
You do indeed.
which I fail.
Fail.
D6.
It's only the one, and you've already re-rolled this turn.
Stormbolter on their second Dreadnought.
We're just rinsing and repeating.
And can we roll both of those? 3 hits in total. 1 wound.
You've got a
save or
wound.
die.
I save.
And twin laser cannon. 1 hit, and can we roll that one? 2 hits.
That's probably cocked.
Wound and cocked.
Okay, 1 wound. 5 up.
wound. 5 up invulnerable. No, one is
one's
killed.
killed.
One's killed, so it doesn't matter. Alright, and the third and final one. Stormbolter, re-rolling. All 4 hits. 2 wounds.
2 wounds, 2 ups.
Love
Yep, loves life.
Twin laser cannon. Both hits.
Both were wound.
Ah! Ah! Hey-ya!
One
make 1.
6
passes.
damage.
1
Just
again.
the
Oh, wow.
Got lucky there.
That is it for the shooting, but we do have some quite important charges to come up now. We are starting the charge phase with this far Dreadnought here into the Wraiths. There is no Overwatch. Can he make that on a 6? I'm not so sure, but let's measure it up.
No, I didn't actually measure beforehand. No, he cannot.
Okay.
He would need a 7, in fact. Do I want to re-roll that? Well, need to think about that one.
We are leaving it and moving straight on to the second Dreadnought.
Second Dreadnought.
He definitely
yes.
makes it in. Unfortunately, if that was the other way around, they would both be in because he needed a 6, this one here.
Okay, Grandmaster Nemesis
Grandmaster-
Dreadknight. He needs a 6 as well. Rolls a 5. I'll use a CP to re-roll that 1. Yep,
There we
makes
go.
it. 4,
That
5,
is
6, 7.
4 and a 3 for a 7. So we do have 2 units in there. Could be significant. But we're not done yet. It's Drago time. He needs a 10, I've been told.
No problem.
Oh, it's an
a
8.
problem, everyone. It's a
Could
big old
be
problem.
an issue there. Do we have anything else to charge?
I don't think so. No, nothing else.
Okay, so we will be right back with the
We are,
fight.
of
Of course, starting with the Grand Master. He has 6 attacks from Shock Assault, hitting on 2s.
Reroll.
Those 3 1s there. Okay,
5 hits.
5 hits. We are wounding on 2s because he is strength 10 with his sword.
The Nemesis Greatswords. The Nemesis Greatswords.
What's cooking? It's a 6.
Oh
We
yeah.
have 5 free up invuns to make.
Here we go. Hey-ya! Oh, but I did make them all.
You did, but that unit of Wraiths has now been killed.
Oh dear.
We would have come to the Dreadnought, but an interrupt has been employed. So we just roll for Hypological Strategist now.
I do.
One
get
of them is a 5, so
Only
we
cost
will
me 1 point.
restore a CP. Not bad there.
Very good. Okay, here we go. So 3s.
We have 4 in range here.
Yes, he couldn't quite get with there.
Sure.
Okay, so that would be the roll I want again.
Yes, we are
essentially.
looking for 5s here.
Okay, 3 wounds.
3 wounds at -2. We save... That's probably cocked.
that one.
Okay, we save none of them, but he has 2 wounds remaining. Not enough to kill him. He will punch you back. 5 attacks back from the Dreadnought now.
Okay, 3s, rerolling 1s because the Grandmaster. Okay, and then 2s.
Maybe 2s to wound. We do have 3 wounds.
3 invulnerables.
We failed 2 of them, and they are flat 3 damage.
So I will use a CP because I've used one this turn. Cool. So
Okay.
the 1-on-1 wound is killed.
Alright, does kill the 1-on-1 wound, but that is the end of the fight phase. And that brings us to the end of the turn. We did get secure objective 2. Unfortunately, due to this unit of Wraiths here, this objective in the middle is only contested, so the gamble for the Grey Knights has not paid off this turn. And I've been told.
Discard Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts is being removed.
Discarded.
So we do have 1 point there for the Grey Knights for secure objective 2, but no first strikes. That puts it on 5-1 for the Necrons' favour. It is their turn, coming right up. I have a feeling their counterpunch could be quite significant. Okay, so just before we do anything else in this Necron turn 2, we're just going to do the reanimation protocols.
Okay, so we'll get my +1 because of protect.
Yes. You bring back none of them. And we do heal a wound over there, which has been marked up, and my will be done has been done on both these units of Immortals. We'll be right back with the cards and the movement. It's another good draw for the bone. We have no prisoners. We have behind enemy lines. And a mystery card. Perhaps the mind games are being employed here. Because that mystery card could be worthless to him.
It could be, but I'll go with what I know. No prisoners will be denied.
Okay, so behind enemy lines will definitely be worth the D3 this turn, almost certainly. The mystery card is still in play. What will be the third card that is put down? Age of the Machine. So destroy an enemy vehicle this turn, of which you have 4 of them standing.
And if I kill 3 enemy vehicles, I get D3 points.
Ah, yes. So actually quite doable there. All right, well, let's get on with the movement phase and see where we stand. The Necron movement phase has been completed. We have remained where we are with the destroyers. No need for them to move. Zoomed along here for behind enemy lines for the Night Scythes. We've fallen back out of combat with the race because they can fall back and charge, so it doesn't really matter to them. And their companions have moved forward, phasing through the Grand Master in order to free up some room for the Praetorians to join the fray. As they can fall back and charge, that puts some of these characters in some pretty dire straits. We've just consolidated our position over here, shuffling forwards a little bit. No advances here in order to fire at full capacity.
They had to advance.
Oh, they did have to advance.
Yes.
My apologies.
That's right, but my will be done is on both of them.
Yeah, so this unit moved normally then and will be firing on 5s for their Tesla. This one will need 6s for their Tesla. Very nice. And this unit here has remained where they are in order to just hold the back line and protect from any potential deep striking.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't protect. It's coming, and it's gonna suck.
Yeah, more than likely. But that is the movement phase completed. We do have some shooting to do. We'll be right back. Let's see what the Necrons can unleash upon. Starting with this Night Scythe, as he swoops over the Dreadnought here, he unleashes his Tesla's Destructors.
Yes, die!
Okay, we dropped a couple of hits, but Tesla makes up for that.
Yes, more than. Hey! 4s. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7! 7 wounds!
7! For the boards. Okay, pass 4, fail 3.
Okay, so that is a total of 3 damage taken so far. Lots of shots, not very good on the damage, unfortunately, for those Destructors.
Happy to go again.
The second one,
Same
same target, joining his pal in trying to deal with that Dreadnought.
Okay, so no Tesla there. And also, I rolled two extra dice.
Yeah, you
there.
picked up the dice that you had. It's always confusing with Tesla because...
confusing.
but, I mean, as it is, you dropped 4 anyway, so...
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take 1 extra out because that's I'm just, you know. Are you happy with that?
I'm more than happy.
Okay, good.
I'm a very happy person.
Yes, I know. That is 3 wounds there.
3 wounds, 3 saves
3 wounds.
on that Dreadnought.
3 saves.
He does drop another wound. He's down to 4 remaining. It is Imhotep time. Calling the storm.
Yes! The storm! Get down here, storm, and do your worst!
Onto you here.
Onto this 2 wound Dreadnought. So we only need a 2. It's a 1.
I'm going to use a ZP on that.
That makes sense. It is 5. That is 5 mortal wounds on him. Do you accept that?
It's just on him, right?
It's well, it
then
can explode,
bounces on 6s, so it would get you and you.
but it will
on
explode
6.
regardless of whether you.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, I'll accept that. That's
Okay, cool.
So he's dead. Does he blow up?
Does he explode?
He does.
He does on a 6.
It is a mortal wound bonanza.
I will reroll that.
Oh
No, I won't.
No.
Okay, so it will be. It's a
Such a
3-inch bubble.
3-inch
Yes, so it'll only get the Grand Master there.
Okay, so the Grandmaster will take D3 mortal wounds, and then we'll roll to see if he bounces. It's definitely a 3. What are you checking?
Well, I was just putting my command points down.
Oh, I thought you were checking the explosion radius. Lawrence
You
was
must
just...
track your command points.
Well, yes, but...
Right, and you say it's D3 mortal wounds.
it is indeed in a 3-inch bubble, so it will only affect your Grandmaster.
No, but is it D3 or is it 1?
No, it's D3.
Okay. I will double check that. Just in case.
While you're doing that, I'll roll for my hyperbolical strategist.
Yes.
Strategist.
For the reroll,
Yes.
no.
D3 mortal wounds.
He takes 1 after all of that. And now to see if it bounces.
Does it bounce onto you? It does.
It does, so it's D3. Okay. So it's 2 more.
And does it bounce onto your friend over here?
It does.
Oh, wow.
He powered up this storm.
This was it was the storm dance I did, you
Yeah.
see? And he
3
takes 3
mortal wounds. Wow. Very, very brutal from the Stormlord there. We're not done yet. Obviously, we need to remove that Dreadnought there. But before he exploded, it's almost as if the Grandmaster could see it coming and activated some true silver armor.
He did. So once he leaves me down
Sure.
to 2. It does mean that I can ignore mortal wounds on 5s. No, it doesn't go off
And then
anyway.
the other one, because he took 3 this turn total. Because I believe you do get to roll it for the first mortal wound that you take, which would have been the explosion, I believe.
No, you activate it when... I'd have to activate it on the explosion.
Yeah, so you would get to
Well,
save
I
it
didn't.
on
I
that.
didn't activate it on the explosion.
Oh, so you activated it on the storm.
What happened, everyone, is I was doing my command points and they carried on rolling, so I sort of was catching up after the fact.
I thought
wouldn't
you were
have done
checking
it on
true
my
silver
explosion.
armor.
No, that would be cheating. I wouldn't have done it on my explosion. I would have taken that.
Sure.
I would have taken the risk that he rolled the 6, right, which he then did. But
Sure.
the minute he rolled the 6, and he rolled the D3 and took those mortal wounds, then I would have activated it.
Sure.
Gotcha.
So I rolled, because he did 2, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So he rolled 2, I rolled the dice, I failed both, so he still takes 3 mortal wounds in total anyway, including my explosion.
Gotcha.
Makes
Right.
sense?
It makes sense to me. Hopefully that made sense to you at home. Back over to the destroyers now. Extermination protocols, of course. And everything is going into this 4-wound Dreadnought. We're looking to maximise Age of the Machine.
Actually, I'm going to put it on him because I forgot I have behind enemy lines and I'd like to score that. So we're going to change. We're going to change the target. We're going to go for him. So
Okay.
first of all, do I get that back? I do.
You do, so
Okay,
it costs
very
you
good.
0 CP
0
for that, essentially.
So 9 shots this time into the 5 wounds.
Okay.
Here, re-rolling those. Incidentally, last turn they were my will be dundered. Not that it made any difference, but I would have been hitting on 2s. It's a full house. 5s to wound.
It will be 5 to wound. They are tough in 7.
So I've got 3 so far, but re-rolling. Okay, 4 wounds.
Okay, minus 3.
6s, I need
4
to-
wounds.
He
I
does
save 1.
So it is 3d3 damage though.
D3 damage. That is 6 wounds in total.
Blow? No,
Not this time.
Sorry, was it this
It
one?
was this one here, yes.
Sorry.
Okay, another vehicle down. 1 more to go for Age of the Machine. Back to Imhotep. His Staff of the Destroyer is actually being shot now into the Grand Master.
Sorry guys, slightly out of sequence there, but I was just double checking you got to shoot as well. Or is it,
It's not necessarily out of sequence because the Stormcaller is just a rule that you do in the shooting phase. You don't have to select it. If it said when you choose this model to shoot, you can also do
Right.
yada yada yada. It doesn't
Right.
say that,
Okay.
so you can
Well,
kind of go backwards and forwards.
There we go. So looking for 2s, a hit, 4s to wounds. That's 1 wound. I can reroll the 1 because of the Lord here. So it's 2 wounds.
Okay.
2 wounds.
You
1 save, 1 fail. What's the damage on that?
2.
2? Yeah, I'll use a CP to reroll it. Oh no, I've rerolled the damage this turn. I can't do that. I rerolled a...
You rerolled the explosion.
Yeah,
Sure.
can't do that.
2 damage
Yeah,
on
takes 2
him.
damage.
All right. But that damage is not the end of it because Methodical Destruction has now been employed. 2 CP, but the entire Sortek army gets +1 to hit against that Grand Master. And in conjunction with My Will Be Done, which is this unit here, they are hitting on 2s, Teslaring on 4s. So they are coming up now on that Grand Master. Okay. So a couple of ones in there, but there's a lot of 4s, 5s, and 6s
Cool.
when you break it down.
Yeah,
Let's work
big
it out.
old lot of dice there. I just want to stop and everyone appreciate the fact that I fit them all in my hands.
It's quite impressive. He does have carny hands.
I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah. So there was 22 additional hits here.
Yep.
On top of the ones that already hit.
So looking for 5s, re-rolling 1s.
That's not a bad start.
Yeah, so let's get these 1s to re-roll.
That's not a bad start at all, actually.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Right.
1 extra there, so it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16 wounds. Now there is
16 wounds?
no minus though.
I am ready.
Okay.
Take 1, 2, 3 wounds.
Alright, so he's down to 4 wounds remaining, but still he stands. On to this unit now. Now remember they advanced, but they were given my will be done, and with methodical destruction, it still means they're hitting on 2s against that Grandmaster and Teslaring on 5s.
Yes. Okay, cool. So Tesla.
There's another 5 in there.
Tesla, and then just get rid of these 1s.
Okay, so we
Okay, so I need
another 14 there by the looks of it.
14. Okay, I'll be right
Another impressive handful.
back. Yeah.
Here we go. 5s, re-rolling the 1s.
Okay, 1. I need 3 1s. Still a bunch of wounds though. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wounds in total this
11
time.
saves.
11. I am ready. 2s. We drop 1 more.
Only the 1 wound. He has 3 remaining. Defiant. He is indeed. The final unit of Immortals are looking to finish the job. Exactly the same as this unit here. So we're hitting on 2s, Teslaring on 5s thanks to methodical destruction. Oh, wow.
Lots of 1s.
That's
lots of 1s.
pretty horrific there. And only 2 lots of Tesla.
Only 2 lots of Tesla. It might be okay, everyone. It might be okay. But look at this.
That's another one.
There's another 1 in there. Then
No,
that
those you
was the
put
one
in,
I
yeah,
had
that's
in.
fine.
Cool. Okay. 5 and 6s.
Okay, that kind of offsets it a little bit. And a few ones to re-roll.
No, I won't be re-rolling 1 set only because the.
The
this
Lord.
unit
Yeah,
here,
the Lord is
Lord's
there. Sorry, I
uh,
thought he was this side, and perhaps there could have been some range. So only
No.
the 4 saves.
5.
5 saves. Apologies.
5 saves.
Yes.
Understood.
He does
drop
take
another.
another wound, but still, yet he stands. Wow, that could have gone very, very differently there. That final unit clearly needed to be a bit closer to their bosses to be told what to do. It's the Praetorians now firing their rods of the Covenant into the Grandmaster. So we're hitting on 3s here.
Yeah, because they don't get the +1, do they?
They don't. They have no dynasty keyword.
Oof. That's a terrible roll.
Yeah, that wasn't great. 5s here.
1 wound.
It is 1 wound.
But it is -3.
So 3 up in Bun. Sanctuary.
Huzzah!
He still lives. Oh dear. It is the charge phase. These wraiths here on this flank going into the 4 wound Dreadnought. We have some Overwatch.
Okay, Storm Bolter. Rerolling Castrigo. 3 hits. 1 wound.
1 wound on a wraith.
Loves it.
Loves it on a 3.
Twin Lice Cannon.
We have 2
Reroll.
3s. Reroll both of those.
1 hit.
1 hit on a 6.
1 wound.
It is a wound.
Loves it.
Loves it on a 5.
Okay,
Do they make
cool.
the charge? Yes, they will. We come to these wraiths now, into the Grandmaster. A little bit of Overwatch coming their way.
Right, Psycannon. Rerolling 1s.
Okay. We've got 3 hits. How did you turn 3 1s into 3 6s? What's wrong with you?
I am a Grey Knight.
Oh, God. Right. 3s to wound.
I'm actually a real psycho in real life. Right, to wounds. That is 3 wounds.
All right.
Okay,
2
drop 1.
damage.
Okay, 1's on 1 wound.
3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The heavy silencer.
3 hits. Reroll the 1. Okay. To wounds.
These are 5s to wound, but that is
1
1
wound.
wound.
Save or die.
He saved.
Saves it. Okay. Can't really fake that charge. It just depends how they want to go with a 6. They might not be able to wrap him, but they should finish him off.
In order to ensure the kill, the Praetorians are going into the Grandmaster. No Overwatch here. And with a 6 again,
should be enough to get the vast majority in. That brings us to the end of the charge phase, and as you can see, Caldor has heroically intervened, was just in range there in order to try and punish these Wraiths for daring to deal with his Dreadnought friend.
I measured wrong. Punish me.
It's a bit much. This is a family-friendly channel. We are starting with these Wraiths here on the Grandmaster.
Yeah, so they're 3 attacks each, I believe.
Indeed.
Okay, here we go. I have 3 too many dice. Hey, okay.
Wow. Okay, so 6 hits there.
Forced wound. Yes. Okay, it's only 4.
4 saves of free up invuns thanks to Sanctuary, but they are 2 damage each. He fails
Let's drop
1.
I will. And then you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. What do I need the additional CP for? You know what? I will re-roll it. Because why not?
No. Down he goes.
Okay.
These Wraiths now on to the Dreadnoughts.
A better roll.
Looking for 5s though.
That's 3 wounds at -2.
He saves 1, but it is not enough. Does he explode?
No.
He doesn't, but he is removed. That is it for the combat for the Necrons. Just as an aside here, guys, the Praetorians, because they charged, they got to use their pile-in consolidation move this turn, so they have shimmied up to support the race further. We do have Drago to attack now. We'll be right back. Let's see what he can do. Drago time. 6 attacks with Shock Assault.
Okay, re-rolling the 1.
Full house, as you would expect from the Grandmaster of the Grey Knights. We're looking for freeze here. We do have 4 wounds there, 5 wounds there out of the 6.
Okay.
Free up invuns, but they are flat free damage, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
1 is killed.
He kills one of them. Could have done a lot better there. The Wraiths have been absolutely brutal against the characters of the Grey Knights. And that brings us to the end of the turn for the Necrons. What do we have in your points?
So I'm going to get D3 for Age of the Machine. And then my surprise card was Supremacy, which I got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And I didn't get behind enemy lines, but that's fine.
Well, you got 2 in there for behind enemy lines, but you didn't get the D3.
No.
Because the unit has to be wholly within, and thanks to Drago intervening, they wouldn't be able to get in
Exactly.
there.
So
but it's still...
Won't be getting that, but I'll get 2 D3.
D3. Okay.
So that's 3 points.
3 points plus behind enemy lines for 4. So that does put you on 9 points there.
I'm not sure I have behind enemy lines.
You have 2 flyers in his deployment zone.
I didn't think flyers would score that, could they?
They can't hold objectives, but they can do other stuff. So that they can get things like line breaker, behind enemy lines,
that's nice.
Advance, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So 9 points to the Spiders.
1 point.
1 point. But you do have quite a hefty amount of reinforcements inbound. Let's hope that they can cut the mustard. The Grey Knights turn 2, and it's not a bad draw. We already had Supremacy still in play, and with all the reserves that are coming in, could be very, very doable. Master of the Warp is a nice one to get, as is Psychic Communion, which we knew was already in the hand, but the Bone has declared that Master of the Warp is going bye-bye because it's a bit easier to achieve than Psychic Communion.
Yes, if Lawrence rolls badly, which never happens, we may not get Psychic Communion. Who knows? Who knows?
What's your replacement going to be?
Teleport attack.
I can't fail it.
Oh, wow. So that's a straight up point there because 6 units are arriving from Teleportation Strike this turn. So minimum of 1 point there. Almost certainly going to get at least 1 point for Psychic Communion. Supremacy could be a bit more difficult, but the game is afoot. We will be back with the Grey Knights movement phase in just a moment. Here they have arrived. 15 Terminators, eyeing up the Wraiths and the Destroyers. It's a lot of Smites, it's a lot of Stormbolters, but will it be enough? We've come down here with a unit of Strike Marines as well as the Paladin Ancient. The Brother Captain has advanced. He rolled only a 1, but it is enough to get within the 12 now of the super duper smite from the Banner of the Refining Flame, thanks to the Brother Captain's doubling aura. We advanced up with this unit of strike squads here. Don't really need to shoot or charge with them because they are now claiming that objective thanks to being troops. That will be the supremacy, because as we swing over here, another strike squad has arrived. Drago has remained in combat. He will not fall back. He will not back down from these heinous, heinous wraiths. He will attempt to actually kill one this time. That would be good.
Interesting. It's not on my agenda.
It's not?
Nope.
Okay, you're just going to smite them. That's pretty much the agenda. So, that is the lay of the land. We do have ourselves in a pretty good position for the Grey Knights to score a lot of points this turn, but the Fates will need to be on their side. A big old Psychic phase is coming. Of course, it's Drago starting the Psychic phase. It is a smite into the Wraiths.
Goes off.
Yes, that is one mortal wound on those Wraiths.
Great. He will then cast Gate of Infinity.
Oh.
Hence why I said it's not on my agenda. I don't know what tactics you're talking about.
Oh my God. I don't blame him, really.
So I'm going to use my last CP to... I forget the name of the stratagem now.
Psychic channeling?
Yeah, I think it is. Yes. So rolling 3d6.
3d6, pick the highest.
Just try and ensure I get power off.
Oh yes, on an 11 that is 100%, so he will teleport. Let's move him. And he has reappeared over here, striding forth from the warp alongside his brethren. Perhaps he was there all along. He will command them, as is his wont to do. Do you know what you're doing next?
I do. This unit's going to cast Smite.
A smite from the strike squad.
Smite.
That will be a smite, another mortal wound. Successfully whittling them down.
Then the captain.
The captain himself.
Will cast Smite.
It is indeed a smite. Another mortal wound. That is a wraith removed.
You leave them alone now.
The strike squad now. Blah. Words. Those are good. Casting Astral Aim on this rear unit of Terminators here. Astral Aim to ignore the cover and line of sight.
Goes off.
Definitely goes off on an 11. For those keeping track at home, we are sitting on 5 for Psychic Communion. One more is required for the D3.
I feel confident.
Well, that's probably your first mistake.
Ha!
Bit of a tactical blunder here. Because of the bone removing this closest wraith from all the smites, this banner, despite the double range, is just out. And his other power only has a 12-inch range as well. Mistakes were made, but all is not lost. We have a smite over here into those wraiths. It goes off.
One's dead.
One is killed. That is 6 for Psychic Communion. Bang. To the Terminator contingent, we have from the rear unit a smite. They're all within 12 inches, closest and visible to the destroyers.
Smite.
It is one smite. One takes a wound.
The second unit. Smite. Goes off.
One takes a wound. One is killed.
The third unit. Smite.
Goes off. Another mortal wound. I believe that is your psychic phase done.
Yes.
Okay, very successful. Shame about the Paladin not being able to use his banner, but these things do occasionally happen. Good play there from the bone, removing those first.
It was a complete mistake.
What, you removing that one?
No, I was more doing it for the charge, but that was just a happy accident.
Happy accidents are the best kind. But it is still the D3 for Psychic Communion. Not bad at all. It is the shooting phase now. The rear unit, the one that has been astral aimed, are firing everything into the destroyer, so ignoring cover there, quite handy for them.
And re-rolling for Drago.
So his reappearance there, giving them the impetus that they need, only dropping a couple of hits there, very nice. We are looking for 5s and 6s though. Can we translate them to a good bunch of hits? It's not shabby.
7 wounds.
7!
And these are ignoring
The blessed
cover.
number. Okay, so no cover. Hey.
Oh,
Okay,
it
3
is
go
3
through.
wounds.
So one's killed.
And one is on 2
wounds
remaining.
Okay.
Okay. Over to the strike squad now, unloading their stormbolters into the wraiths, seeing if they can get lucky and plink off another one.
So misses.
Get that roll again. We do get a wound there. One save on the wraith. It is a wound on the wraith. Okay, do we know where we're going next?
Yeah, the Ancient will fire 4 shots at the Wraiths.
Alright.
3 hits.
Yes.
Just get the Paladin Ancient, I think he's 1 wound.
1 wound for sure.
He's fine.
Okay, he is fine. Strike squad now, rapid fire into the Wraiths, looking to try and blunt the potential assault coming their way.
Okay. Load of misses. This one misses. Right, the wounds. 3 wounds.
You do have 3 wounds.
That's
No, they are fine for everything. Turn to the second of the 3 Terminator units. We have 2 more to go, one of which can see with all of their number into the Lone Destroyer. We need to finish him off. Reroll everything for Drago. Okay, only netted a few. That was a hit, yeah. 5s and 6s here.
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
So a no ignoring cover this time, is that right? 2. Oh, he's got 1 wound
He
left!
has 1 wound remaining.
Just the 1!
Now on that final unit, only 3 can see. Let's decide how we're going to split up those shots. 3 will be going into that Lone Destroyer. The other 2 into the Wraith. See if they can get lucky and finish off both. So this is on to the Destroyer due to the number of dice. Thanks to Bolter Discipline, that is a full house on that Destroyer.
I'm getting alarmed.
You should be. Oh, it's a pretty good roll there.
Sure, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Well, you did knock over a 5 in there. So we have 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds.
7 wounds.
7 wounds.
Are you alarmed yet?
Oh, yeah.
On the Destroyer.
He is.
So that's cocked.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to use a CP on that.
All right. It is a 4. He lives.
No, I've already got one.
You've already done it this round. On the Wraiths.
8 shots. All but 1. And
Full
hits.
house again.
4
4
wounds.
wounds on the Wraiths. Can we
Okay.
get lucky and get rid of one of them? Nearly.
No, it takes 1.
Okay, I believe that is the shooting phase
Nope.
completed.
Nope. Drago's going to shoot him as well.
Oh, the hero.
Yeah.
Lord Drago.
He hits 4 times.
Lord Drago.
He wounds once.
Ah!
Save
That's all he needs.
Ah!
Save.
Hi-ya!
It's off the board.
Too much stress! Hiya!
Oh, he saves it on a 5. That Destroyer lives. We come then to the charge phase. We have Terminators galore into the Wraiths. We need to try and finish them off for Teleport Strike.
Okay. No, definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was 1 unit. Is are the other 2 units potentially charging, or are they gonna? They're gonna leave.
Do
it?
not want to charge with them.
Okay, we're playing a KG. That is understandable because there's a lot of Tesla over there.
Well, the way I see it, he's now got no range with any of his Tesla. So I've played defensively because obviously I can't really win at this moment unless I sort of sneak ahead with the cards. So I needed to destroy the destroyers, really. So realistically, that's probably lost me the game if he just reanimates them, because those are the weapons that can easily take out my Terminators and are in range. However, I knew if I made that charge with the Terminators that the Terminators, I'd be throwing them away for the sake of 1 victory point, because all of a sudden they'll be in range with all of his Tesla, which is why I didn't want to go over here really. So that's why I was umming and ahhing about whether I even wanted to do the charge.
Okay.
The gods decided for you.
That's right.
Yeah,
They did.
clearly on a double 1 they were like, absolutely not.
So look, that's it. Yeah, there's nothing else this turn. So I've got to roll for my points.
Okay, well, I mean, you did get supremacy because we have 1
And
point
Psychic
here.
Communion.
We do have that point there and the point over here. So it is 2d3 because we got the 6 points for Psychic Communion. It is the big 6.
Of course it is.
He's back in the game. Well, I mean, that puts him on 7 to your 9. And with the defensive play, maybe the gods have indeed willed it.
No, it's the destroyers. I needed them to die unless he whiffs on the reanimation.
Well, let's
Unless he
find
whiffs on the
out.
reanimation, then I am back in the game.
All right, well, let's see what happens. The Necrons turn free, coming right up. So on that topic, let's roll for the destroyers.
We get 2 back.
2 return. That could have been a lot worse, but could have gone in the Lawrence's favour.
The Lawrence.
The Lawrence, the Ben.
It's me.
Necron cards. Defend objective 4, which is this one here. So it would be very, very difficult to get that. Witch Hunter. Certainly very easy to get that one in comparison. Mystery card. What are you discarding?
I'll get rid of defend.
Defend objective
Yep,
4.
I'll get rid of defend.
Okay. What do we have in its place then, Mr. Bone? Defend objective 5, which is that one there. Okay. Not too bad, so definitely well underway for that one. Witch Hunter, we've got to see how we do. But those are the cards. We'll be right back, see how the Necrons have moved. The Necron movement phase for turn 3 has now been completed. We've shuffled along here, just holding this bunker still with these warriors. My Will Be Done was used on both of these immortal units thanks to a combination of Imhotep and the normal Overlord. Both units advance, so they will be Teslaring on 6s thanks to that My Will Be Done. Over here, these Praetorians have moved up to join the fray. We've skimmed along the sides of the battlefield with these Night Scythes. These Wraiths have moved over here, and we got a big 6 on the advance with these Wraiths. And that means that adaptive subroutines has been utilized to allow them to still charge this turn.
Correct.
Just going to roll for Hyperlogical Strategist on that. Okay, so it does cost you the CP. I believe you're down to one remaining.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, the Destroyers and the Cryptek have held firm around here, just shuffling around in order to ensure they have pure line of sight as to where they need it. Could be a harsh turn for the Grey Knights. We will see if their true silver armor holds in the face of this Necron onslaught. Their shooting phase coming right up. This unit of Tesla Immortals will open up the shooting phase onto those Grey Knights that came down to hold that objective.
Yeah.
We have no additional bonuses on these guys, so it is just straight 6s for Tesla.
Correct.
Of which you get quite a few.
Quite a few. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of these misses. Okay, I'm gonna.
Let's tally it up. So with these guys powering up and netting another 12 hits from their Tesla, we've decided to roll over here because there's a little bit more space.
Yes.
Looking for freeze now.
Okay.
No rerolls. The Lord is way too far away.
Way too far away. So let me just get rid of.
Still a significant amount of woundage there. Strength 5 is very, very nice.
Yeah, so we've got 5, 10,
16.
15, 17.
17.
17 saves.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So let's get rid of 4 of these. Alright, let's do it. 2.
Ready? Okay.
Good.
We've lost
2 are dead. 3 are dead, sorry.
Okay, so they are in cover there. We are counting that as cover in this particular game, everyone. But still losing 3, not too shabby for the Necron. This unit of Immortals, looking to finish them off with My Will Be Done as well, could be a significant number of attacks.
We just need to get the dice. Okay. Okay, so they did advance.
Ah, yes, of course. So we are hitting normally, basically, thanks to My Will Be Done.
I did get 4 6s there. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Now, these are frees, and they will be re-rolling ones, thanks to the Lord nearby. Of which you get a couple.
Cool. Okay, so that's 5, 10, 15.
15 saves
3,
on the
6,
2 remaining
9,
warriors.
12, 13, 14, 15. 2s. Yes, they're
Oh,
dead.
they are super dead.
Splat.
Down they go. Final unit of Immortals going into this unit of Strike Marines here. Again, needing 6s because they advance, but My Will Be Done to counteract that.
Okay, let's get rid of these misses.
Only got the 2 6s in there.
2 there. Okay.
Looking for freeze.
Rerolling those 1s. Rid of that 2. Okay, next an extra one. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 that time.
12 saves on these Strike Marines here.
12 saves coming up. A Titan! We're dead!
Very nearly, but they are removed. The Praetorians now, firing their Rods of the Covenant into this brother captain. They are all in range. 10 shots.
3s. That's better than when they shot last time. And then 3s again.
3s again, strength 5.
Okay, that is 4 wounds at -3.
So 4 Iron Halo saves here. He makes 3 of them.
Haha! Haha!
The Destroyers, Extermination Protocols once more. Let's just roll to see if we get that back The Biological Strategist. No, that is no CP left for the Necrons, no CP left for the Grey Knights.
Okay.
But they are firing everything into this rear line of Terminators here, re-rolling everything.
Okay, reroll.
Cool. Alright, pays off with another 2 hits. We're looking for freeze, re-rolling. Okay.
It's 8 wounds.
So 8 5-up in-run saves are required here.
Okay. What? I'll reroll 1. Let's reroll another here. Okay,
so
I failed 5.
Okay, so
Okay.
5.
So, D3s. So, first one kills 1, second one kills 1, third one kills 1, fourth one kills 1, last one. Oh, there's one,
One
left, with
left alive.
One.
Wow.
2, 3, and 4.
We come over to the flank. We have the Night Scythes, Tesla Destructors going in to the Brother Captain. The first one.
Okay, that's this. 2 more in
2
there.
more for the Tesla.
3s. Okay, that is 6 wounds there.
Alright, 6 A's on him. He
Almost.
shrugs them off.
Fine.
Terminator
Yes.
armor holding strong.
I'm happy to go into
Go on to the next one. We are going to roll 8 this time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big
Okay.
spread of Tesla there.
Cool. So an extra 6.
Not very nice.
Well, it's not. That's what Tesla does. Oh, but it is balanced out by dropping quite a few wounds there.
Yep, but it's still 9 wounds.
9 wounds, 9 Terminator saves.
9, you say?
You drop 2,
2, still alive on 3.
but he still stands. Is that your shooting phase done?
And it's shooting face down.
Alright, I suspect we have quite a few charges coming up. We'll be right back. And the charge phase begins where we finish the shooting phase. Into the Brother Captain, his Overwatch.
2 hits. And 2 wounds. No wounds.
No wounds. Can't really fail that charge, but they can move further and through. So with an 8, they can kind of go where they please.
I just kind of want them to go here.
Alright.
To get... Oh...
Have a think.
Utilising their Wraith form, they have phased through the Brother Captain, freeing up space for the Praetorians to shorten their charge to a 7 now.
And the 7 is what they get in. They crash
Very nice.
to that Brother Captain. Finally, these Wraiths into the front rank of the Terminators. We have some hefty Overwatch coming their way. Rolling over there.
There we go.
So Drago rerolls. We've got a couple of hits so far. Net's quite a few more. Can we kill a Wraith on the way in? That would be quite handy for the Grey Knights.
No.
We get
2
only
wounds.
the 2 wounds. Won't be enough to kill a Wraith, but can we injure him? We can take a wound off. Everyone at home, please forgive my fat thumbs. I pressed the stop record button. It was a 9. But
just a double, even with
Okay.
a double 1.
It was 100% a 9 though. But with a double 1,
even with a double 1,
they can't
fail
fail.
the charge.
Starting with these Wraiths, we have 12 attacks into the Terminators. We're looking for
Yeah.
freeze.
Followed by freeze.
Okay, not bad. Okay, 5 wounds.
5 wounds.
-2.
So -2 here, so we've got 4 up saves. Oh, 3 of them are shrugged. 2 go through, and at 2 damage, that is 2 dead Terminators. But they will be enough left to strike this combat. The Wraiths are kicking it off. We drop 3.
Okay.
We need freeze again. We drop 1.
2 wounds.
4 up saves. We fail them both. That is 4 damage.
He did.
He is dead. It is the Terminator's time. Can they fell these foul Wraiths?
The halberds of Titan. Rerolling to hit. Drago.
Okay, that's an extra hit there. We're looking for 4s thanks to their halberds.
Okay.
Lawrence's hands knocking things left, right, and centre.
5 wounds.
Okay, 5 wounds.
Hey!
We drop 2.
Drop 2 there.
Okay, D3 damage on the first. Kills
Left to
1.
kill 1.
D3 damage on the second.
Kills 2. Very nice.
Hit.
They didn't bounce quite as well as they would have liked. Those Wraiths could be in some trouble. And thus, we are at the end of the Necrons turn 3. Defend objective 5. We are halfway to. Witch Hunter. Certainly achieved because we killed Psycho units. And the mystery card?
No prisoners.
No prisoners for free because we removed 1 strike team, 2 strike teams, and the brother captain. If he'd have stood, that would have been quite significant there. D3, it is only the 1.
Okay.
It's 2 points.
2 points.
So that puts you on 11, I believe.
Correct.
To the spider 7. Into his turn 3. Needs a big punch back here.
Yes.
The Grey Knight's turn 3. This is how the cards lie. Scour the skies. Very doable. Praetorians have fly. The injured destroyers have fly. Might be a bit trickier to deal with them, but they, they do have fly. Secure objective 4. Oh, the focus went a little bit there. Apologies, everyone. Secure objective 4 is this one here. Doable indeed, but might be tricky to get to, at least not without using a big old charge. And a mystery card. Which one will you discard?
You can't have Scour the Skies.
Okay. Scour the Skies has been discarded this turn, but what will take its place? Master the Warp.
Ah!
You have been baited and bamboozled, sir.
I have to... Can you choose not to deny one, actually? With the rules. No!
The Grey Knight movement phase has now been completed. The strike squad have moved round in order to bring their guns to bear. The Ancient has strode forward, slamming the banner into the ground and ready to unleash refined flame. Drago has held firm in the centre here to provide his aura for everyone and have a multitude option of charges. The lone hero over here has moved to deal with the destroyers up here. We've remained in combat with these Terminators, I believe.
Sure.
Okay. And we've moved round this corner with the 5-man unit here looking to deal with those Praetorians and use them as a charged springboard to get to Objective 4 and to remove them from existence. That is the movement. We have a big psychic phase coming up. Important one. Let's come right. Starting with the Terminator unit in combat. A smite.
Smite.
Fails.
Okay. Then we'll go over to Drago. Drago will cast Purge Soul.
Okay, Purge Soul.
On that same unit.
Okay.
So that's a thing.
With the plus
With
one.
the plus one, it does go
It
off.
does go off, yes.
6.
Okay, so it's a roll off here.
Well, it's actually a 5 needed, sorry.
Oh, very nice. So this is the roll off power.
Yes. Now I am leadership 10. This is the banner.
Ah.
You roll the 1 though. Ooh,
Okay, so the difference wouldn't matter. No mortal wounds there.
Okay, we'll come back to Drago then. This unit here will... Actually, no, we will come to Drago.
Okay.
We'll do Gate of Infinity
Okay.
on said unit.
On this unit. Okay.
Gates of Infinity, that goes off.
It does indeed.
Because whatever that is.
It doesn't matter what that
Yeah.
is because with the plus 1.
That's right.
So they will teleport. We'll be right back. See where they go. To Imhotep. He has now become the hunted.
I totally knew he was going to do that. There's nothing I could do. Unbeknownst.
Well, I mean,
He's a hyperlogical strategist. He weighed it all up and said, "Do you know what? Let them come. Let them come."
So whilst we're over here, we're going to smite him.
Mate.
That is a smite.
Goes off.
He just takes mortal wounds.
He ignores it on a 2.
That's what you get for cheating. This unit of Terminators casting Hammer Hand upon themselves.
Hammer hands.
Their hands are
Yes.
hammered. Do we know what we're going
Yeah.
on to?
This does cast Smite.
So this will be a super smite,
It is.
regardless of the casting value. It is D6.
6 will kill both.
It's 2. Well, one was on 1 wound.
True.
So one
one's left on
has
2 wounds.
2 wounds remaining. Okay. I think that's
Just
it.
leave him. He's tired.
He's
He needs a little break.
He needs a rest. Wrap up the psychic phase. The lone hero casting a smite. It will be on the wraiths because they are closer. It is cast. That is a mortal wound on them, starting to take the damage of this turn. With the warp well and truly mastered, it is on to the shooting phase. This strike team are looking to gun down Imhotep where he stands.
He's -7 to hit.
It would mean that he would still get defend, but the charge isn't guaranteed, and I'll take a Warlord anyway.
Sure.
Or I'll just wound him enough to finish him in combat. That would be ideal. So let's see.
It's a good spread of hits. If you can get that roll again,
What is his stuffing?
his toughness 5. It's not shabby.
1, 2, 3 wounds.
3 wounds. He does have a 2 up though. He is fine.
Right.
It will be Mortal Kombat then, I think. The lone hero rapid firing into the destroyers. It is a wound.
Save or die.
Loves it on a 6. This unit of 5 rapid firing into the destroyers, looking to try and finish them off. Or at least do some form of damage to them.
Reroll,
Rolling everything for Drago. Yes. Nets quite a few extra hits there, well worth his points.
No.
Yes. How do you miss the dice with your ham hands? Like, seriously.
They're very classical. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds.
4 wounds on the destroyers. Ooh, does get rid of 1 and takes 1 down to 2 wounds. The Paladin Ancient now, rapid firing into the Wraith.
He can reroll because Drago's there. 3 hits. Another wound.
1 wound on the Wraith. It is a wound on the Wraith. He has 1 remaining. Drago, do we know what he's going to do?
Drago will rapid fire into
Have a think.
the same Wraith.
Okay, into the Wraith it is.
Rerolling because he's Drago.
Drake Dizzle, I like to call
Oh
it.
dear. No wounds there. I believe that is the shooting phase completed. Important charges are coming right up. With the Ancient into the Wraith. No Overwatch. Can't really fail this charge just for completion's sake. Okay, very good. The Terminators into the Praetorians. Overwatch coming in. 4 hits.
4 hits, okay. Freeze. 2 wounds, -3.
I can't.
Both pass, 5 and a 4.
Both.
Minus
-3.
3, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 1 wound.
1 wound, so 1 is still alive on a wound. Do they make the charge?
Oh yes.
An 8 will absolutely do it. This will be a brutal combat. Drago time, charging into the Wraiths to defend his brothers. On a 11? Yes, absolutely he is.
Come all the way around. Still have to eat through those. Yeah, he'll come around there.
Okay, so should be able to provide some aura abilities to his brethren.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
Okay, very nice.
And then this Terminator will charge the Destroyers.
Into the
And
destroyers.
he'll charge the Cryptek as well.
Okay, just
I think
looking
I
for...
can only see with 1.
Okay. The Overwatch. It is a hit. It is a wound.
-3.
So
He saves it on his invuln save. Does he make the charge?
another display of my power. Double 6.
No.
It's a double two.
That's. I mean, it is a double.
It misheard what I said.
Yeah, probably not enough to get in there. This could be a significant charge here. We do have a little bit of Overwatch from Imotech. I presume it's just Imotech they're charging?
It is just Imotech.
That's all you need. We have the Staff of the Destroyer.
This is what I call potential game-winning maneuver if I pull it off.
If you do, it would be just typical Lawrence, quite frankly.
Okay. Assault 3 on my staff. No.
All right, we need a 9 on this charge.
No, it's a 4 again.
Oh dear, they could be in trouble. It was a worthy gambit, but one that did not pay off. The fight phase is coming up. The Ancient will begin this fight phase. 6 attacks thanks to his own banner and shock assault. He's hitting on 2s as well. He does need 5s, however.
1 wound.
Only the 1.
Hey. Yes.
The Wraith will live for now. Drago now. 6 attacks again into these Wraiths. They will hit. We're looking for freeze. The Titan Sword, strength 8. Oh, that's nearly a full house there. Flat damage free as well. The unit is wiped.
Aha.
He finally has decided to power. Drago has held his ground in order to continue providing his rerolls to this Terminator unit now into the Praetorians. We have 21 attacks, I believe.
Yeah, so
The banner
shock
and shock assault.
Rerolling.
Okay, did net a few extra hits there. Thanks to Halberds giving +1 strength as well as Hammerhand, we are looking for freeze now.
Okay.
We drop a couple there.
But we've got 3, 6, 9, 12 wounds.
12 wounds at minus.
-2 for the halberds.
Okay, so this will be 5s.
Say 4, but 8 go through.
8 go through, D3 damage a pop.
And they're 2 damage each. The 2 wounds a pop, the Praetorian.
Sure. So 8 go through.
Yes. So you'll need to do these one at a time here.
D3.
Okay.
Second D3 kills one.
Okay.
D3 kills another. D3 kills another. D3. Right, then that dice would kill another. Got 2 more. D3 and D3. Yeah, kill another.
Okay,
2.
so another 2 are removed.
So that was 6.
Indeed.
Okay, very good.
The Necrons get to retaliate now. We're going to start with the Praetorians. 8 attacks onto the Terminators.
Okay.
6 hits there. We're looking for freeze.
Okay, 5 wounds at -3.
So 5 ups. Okay, we passed 3 of them. 1 was on 1 wound. They are only damage 1, these Rods of the
They
Covenant.
should be damage 2.
It would be very nice, but 1 is killed and 1 is on 1 wound.
The
Wraith on the Ancient now. Will he do what has been tried to done on that Ancient?
1 hit.
Okay, so probably not.
It is a wound though.
What save? Where's the dice gone? Saved on a 6 as well. Okay, that does bring us to the end of the Grey Knight's turn. No morale check to make for these guys because they are immune to morale being Praetorians. The cards. We did get Secure Objective 4, thanks to the Paladins. Not Paladins, they're just normal Terminators. We do have Master of the Warp for D3. It is the free. Did we achieve the mystery card?
Nope.
Okay, so that puts us on 11 for the Grey Knights, I believe. Yes, it does. But the Necrons did score Defend Objective 5. Alas, the strike team, they tried, but no dice for them. So it is currently 13 to 11 in the Necrons' favour, and it is their turn coming up now. Turn 4 for the Necrons. We're going to start with reanimation protocols on the destroyers.
What's the 4s?
2 of them return. The attrition is slowly going to wear the Grey Knights down. We also have reanimation protocols to do with the Praetorians as well. 6 of them.
Yes.
So these are on 5s here.
Just the 1.
Just the 1 is returned, but it is 1 more than you already had. There are no other reanimations to do. I presume that we have My Will Be Done as well, but we will discuss that once the movement phase is completed. Here are the cards. We have Assassinate, we have Secure Objective 2, which for reference is that one over there. That is in Wraith range. And a mystery card. Would you like to discard any of those?
I will. Yeah, I'll discard Objective 2.
Objective 2 has gone bye-bye. What is taking its place, Mr. Bone?
Gosh.
Kingslayer. Whoa. The D3 already achieved. Ouch. The Necron movement phase has been completed, and we will do this as a summary. We've fallen back out of combat with the Praetorians, but with Fly, they can shoot. The Wraith has just moved back a little bit because he will then charge back in. Over here, the Destroyers have remained where they are, looking to just gun down all of these Terminators that are daring to try and assault their position. We've marched forward with the Immortals. All 3 of them were in range of My Will Be Dones from various characters, and so they are all utilising that to full effect this turn with no advancing. This unit has remained static in order to just gun down these Strike Marines that have tried to assault their lord, and swooping overhead, the Night Scythes continue their attack runs. That is the Necron movement phase. We'll be right back with opening up with these Immortals into the Strike Squad. We have 20 shots. Hitting on 2s and Teslaring on 5s.
Let's do it in here.
Alright.
Okay, cool. And then Tesla. So I need an additional.
Let's get a big handful of dice. We're looking for freeze to wound. Okay, dropped a couple, but still very, very good.
Yeah, okay, so 5, 10, 15, 22 wounds.
22? Ugh.
22. Right, go. threes. Yes, they did.
They are removed from existence. Moving on to the rear unit of Immortals now, into the Terminators. 20 more shots coming their way.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of ones there. But I did get 1, 2.
There was another 14 hits in there. Looking for freeze, rerolling ones on the wound. Only the 2. Surprising. Okay. Does net another 2 wounds though.
Still a lot.
Oh
wounds.
yes.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 23 wounds.
23 this time. Incrementally better. But with a 2-up save, perhaps they can weather it slightly better than the strike team.
23. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Twos. 4 fail.
Yeah, 4 fail. So 1 was already on 1 wound, so that will be 1 dead, 2 dead, and 1 on a wound remaining. The third and final unit of Immortals into the Terminators again. Another. Or have you changed your mind?
Yes, I have, because these are in range, so I'm going to fire them first.
Okay, so we'll grab the first lot of 8.
Okay. Blunk. Okay, that is 5 wounds.
5 wounds on them.
Twos.
Okay, 1 is killed. The leader is left alive with 2 wounds.
Okay.
Straight on to the second one.
The second one. So. Okay, so that is 8 wounds.
8 more wounds on the leader of the Terminators. Can he survive this brutal electric onslaught? No, he cannot.
Okay, cool.
He is dead. With those Terminators out of the way, that opens up Drago to be shot at. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It was that's what we call target priority in the business.
I just mean I'm not sure how you think you're going to kill Drago.
Well, let's see.
Quite frankly.
Okay,
that's pretty good though. Let's cast if statistically he could do it whilst picking up the dice.
Yeah.
Lawrence was saying statistically yes you could kill Drago. Actually what Bone meant was can he statistically hold them in his tiny carny hands?
Look at me, Mum! I did it!
He made it, everyone.
Yeah!
There was 20 extra hits in there for those wondering at home.
And I can re-roll these ones. That is looking pretty gross. Okay.
Let's tally it up in a moment. Or just grab the hand.
Oh, there's some 2s in there as well.
What have you done? Patience, man.
I thought he'd removed the numbers.
Well, he hadn't. We've checked it all, everyone. It is matching now. The ham hands may continue their destruction of this part of the board.
All in one hand. That's how it's done. Okay, he loses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds.
I believe he has 2 wounds remaining. He has 7 wounds.
Yeah.
He lives for now, but there's still the destroyers to go. But hush my gums, of course they can't shoot at him. There are Terminators closer. So one of the destroyers is going to go into a lone hero, and the other 3 are going to go into the remaining 3.
Yes, so we'll start with the 3 into this unit here.
Okay.
So 3 for other ones because of...
They hate everything.
They hate everything. Yeah.
Okay.
And now 3s.
Okay.
Okay, so that is
4 wounds there. 4 5-ups. We do save 2 of them.
Okay, so D3. 1's killed, 2's killed.
2 are removed, so 1 is remaining. And then the final destroyer onto the survivor.
All hit. 2 wounds.
He saves 1.
Hey!
And it's enough, he lives.
Aha!
He lives for now. We finally have the 5 Praetorians over here. I presume that they're all going into the Paladin.
Correct. So, just do that quickly. Hey! 3 hits.
3's to wound.
That is 3 wounds and -3. This is on him.
He takes 3 wounds.
Okay, cool.
Alright, that is the end of the shooting phase. Charges, well,
Just be the Wraith.
just the Wraith on the Ancient. Should we go straight into it?
Sure, well, I can't fail that. So,
No. But you do have some Overwatch, Mr. Spider.
How many wounds did I do?
3. Just checking the wounds.
Okay,
Right
we'll
back.
be right. He does indeed have 2 wounds remaining, so the charge has been declared. The Overwatch. We get a hit. Oh, so close to a wound.
Cool. So
Can't
you just
fail
go
that
in.
charge. In he goes. Is
Okay.
there anything else to declare?
No.
Okay.
Cool. So, we'll just go straight over here. 3 attacks.
Only the 1 hit.
To wound. He does
wound. Fails.
Fails.
He is killed.
That is assassinate.
What a pity for the Grey Knights there. But round 2, the cards we have.
So I got Kingslayer
Yes.
and Assassinate.
Okay.
So D3 on Kingslayer.
It is 2.
Okay.
So that will put you on
16.
16 points. And the mystery card is still in play?
Oh yes.
Okay. We will be back with the Grey Knights turn 4. Grey Knights turn 4. The cards are as follows. Scour the skies. Mission critical objective, so we'll need to roll for that, see what it is. And a mystery card.
Well, can we roll to see what it is before I decide if I'm going to make you get rid of it?
Well, yes, because you need to see if it's generated. It is number 6, which is that one there.
In the center. I feel confident that that is safe. Now you haven't been holding any objectives, so that can't. Well, it could be a defend, but that's kind of. You can't have Scour the Skies.
Okay.
Get rid of it.
What will take its place?
Draw my others.
Okay, we'll check what it will be taking its place in just a sec. Hang on. No prisoners. Interesting. Certainly doable for at least 1, maybe even 3. We'll have to see what the Grey Knights do. We'll be Grey Knights turn 4 summary. Drago has moved over here to engage the Praetorians and the Wraith. Over here, we have one of the Terminators just here. This second one is actually...
He's inside on the 2nd floor.
Indeed, because we are counting these as ruins, so they can move up freely, which will allow him to be just underneath. We do have some Psychic to do. Do we know where we're starting?
Yes, Drago is going to start with Purge Soul.
Okay.
He's going to put Purge Soul on the Wraith.
On to the Wraith.
Purge Soul.
Does indeed go off. A roll off is required
Roll
here. The Wraith gets only a 12.
Takes him. That's him dead. Oh.
Is your leadership 10?
His leadership 10.
And
His
I'm only leadership 9.
Oh, I see.
yeah, so he needs to beat it,
Then
unfortunately.
Smite, which will, because we actually I don't know if we are in.
Let's
So
Smite will have to be on the Praetorians because they are closer. And that is a fail.
Okay, then he can't see anyone, so he can't cast Smite, but he's going to cast Hammer Hand on himself.
Sure.
Yep.
Yes, he will.
And then he will cast Smite on him.
Okay, and that goes off.
Goes off, kills him.
No, he hit
keeps going one
one
way,
wound, yeah.
Okay, that is the Psychic phase. We have a smattering of shooting, and then some charging and combat. Drago is going to finish this Wraith if it kills him. 3 hits. We have 2 wounds. Oh, the Wraith still lives.
Okay, rapid fire. Actually, we'll rapid fire at the back Wraith. Why not?
Into the Wraith.
3 hits. Another 2.
2 wounds on the Wraith. He has
Yeah,
finally
finally
failed. Very good. This one cannot shoot because he will not be able to see anything because he is directly under. So we will be back with some
I
charges.
can tell you right now, he's going to declare a charge. You can't overwatch because you can't see me.
Yep.
He will declare a charge on this unit of destroyers.
Okay, very nice. That's a 5.
That does it because I'm only 3 inches below you.
Yeah, so you should be able to go just long enough to be
Up 3.
in a base.
Well, he's actually here, so up 3, and then I would like to place him there.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
Very good. Terminator then will charge the destroyers and the Cryptek because the Cryptek cannot see to Overwatch. A 5.
Again.
Should be able to get to the destroyers. Not sure if you'll be able to make it to the Cryptek
2.
though. But with a pile-in, you
With a
may be
pile-in,
able
I
to
think I
actually.
could.
Because as long as you aren't in base to base when you do your
As long as I
pile-in.
stay a couple of millimeters
Exactly, yeah. So that's some tactics of the tabletop variety there. And Drago.
Drago, charges.
5 bits of Overwatch here.
And now you die. Okay, 1 hit. Oh! -3.
That's
Does
the-
take a wound. Oh no, that's pretty cocked.
Yeah,
roll
that's
again,
pretty
roll
cocked.
again, roll again.
He doesn't take a wound.
Doesn't take a wound.
Does he make the charge though?
Does he make the charge? Not what I need.
That's a 7,
Seven.
definitely, because you were 6 inches away for the smite. In he crashes.
Aha!
It's Drago time. 6 attacks. It's a full house. We're looking for freeze to kill. 1, 2, 3 are dead because it is -4 and it is a flat 3 damage. So not enough to get no prisoners over there, but certainly blunting them. Hammer-handed, Terminator, Captain Champion, whatever their names are. Is it Justicars?
Justicar.
Justicars. On to the destroyers.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Only hit once.
1 wound.
It is a wound. -2. It is a wound.
So 1 is killed.
1 is killed.
He'll pile in.
He will pile in.
He'll attack them as well, against all hope. 4 attacks.
Okay. Only the 1 hit.
Yes, only 1 hit.
The forced wound.
1 wound.
It is a wound.
Makes
But makes the save because of -2. Okay, we will have some strike backs in just a moment. The Praetorians will attack Drago back.
all hit.
They will hit. 2 wounds.
-3.
He's got a free up in one. He cares not. He saves at least 1. He saves them both. He lives and will continue to pummel away at them. Over on this flank, we were just going to check what the stats are. Destroyers, all 6 attacks going into this Terminator Justicar here.
Is that yeah? Okay, cool.
Rerolling ones for their eternal hatred of everything in the world.
2 wounds.
2 wounds on the Terminator.
Dead.
Was that the one on 1 wound?
Yes, it was.
Oh dear, okay. So then we
And
do
the
have
Cryptek.
the Cryptek on this guy. He hits. He doesn't wound. He is only strength 4. So that is the end of the Grey Knight turn. We did get 1 point for no prisoners. Mission critical objective all the way over there is probably a no-go. The mystery card by any chance?
The mystery card was objective 5. So if I made that charge, I would have gotten that as well.
If you'd have made the
Which is
charge.
the one that he was defending last time.
So I got 2 points though for defend objective 2 because I still have 2 there, and then the characters.
Yeah, and they can't fail any morale guys because they're Praetorians. So that puts the bone on 18 to the spiders 12, I want to say.
Yes, 12 now because of the +1. So at that point, I'm happy to concede.
Okay.
I needed everything to go perfectly to keep it remotely interesting. So yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, very good. Well played, the both of you. Wrap up coming up.
Well, poor little Grey Knights.
Yeah, yeah. There was. I mean, after the first turn, it was definitely an uphill struggle. To be honest, the deployment didn't help. The range of my army didn't help. And going first meant nothing, which is why I gave him first turn, because if I'd gone first, I had no range on my guns. And he was able to deploy far enough back in that scenario to ensure that I wasn't going to be in range. So there was no chance if I went first. So going first, I think he did really well with the flyers, because that absorbed the smites on the stronger units. But honestly, I think army-wise, there wasn't much of a chance in hindsight for the Grey Knights, mainly because you've got rate of fire, and I took a more elite force. I took the Terminators, because I really wanted to see what they did. Which is a shame, because I was hoping that the Terminators would do a little bit better. But honestly, the fact of the matter is, like I said in the list at the beginning, if you're taking double battalion with Strike Marines, which is so much cheaper, I could have gotten so much more for my points. And then I would have had enough to get those extra shots to just finish off units that hung on 1 wound and then reanimated. You know, you can't afford to have units stay alive with Necrons, and so I need the extra
fact you didn't
firepower.
get rid of my destroyers the entire game.
That's where you can kind of see where.
And the Praetorians as well. They just, have to reanimate again. For me, I think it's interesting. I'm really pleased to see Necrons kind of back, because if you look at what they've got points-wise now, that's a lot more than obviously what they used to bring, obviously getting a 230 point discount. But because everyone else got the same points discount, I think they probably will end up being in a similar
About
spot.
the same, yeah. And probably the same with Grey Knights, I think.
But yeah, and that's the problem with the Grey Knights. Although I still maintain the Strike Marines are very interesting now, but it doesn't change the core issues, which ultimately are, I spent my CP in 2 turns.
Yeah.
You know, that was with the dual battalion. You just don't have enough CP.
Yeah.
And nothing you have is actually that resilient. So the minute you start losing that war of attrition and you haven't got your alpha strike off with the Grey Knights, it's kind of all over. Having said that, what I hope has been proved this game, there were still 2 moments where I actually could have just stolen the game from you, despite losing, because I was playing the mission. So, you know, if I'd made that charge on Imatep, you wouldn't have got defend, I would have got Slay the Warlords, and I would have got that objective because that was my hidden objective as well. All of a sudden, I was in the lead points wise, and then I would start playing a lot more defensively and cagey. Not to say that it would have won the game, but it would have made it much more interesting. So you can steal a game even if your army's going to lose against that particular force, which is cool. But sadly, it doesn't make Terminators good.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the problem with Terminators. They did all right, but 175 points, that's not good enough.
Not
to be all right.
Force, no.
Like an elite unit shouldn't just be okay; they should be good. I think Wraiths are a perfect example of that. They did fantastic this game.
Yeah,
and then with the points discount, in my opinion, they were already
great.
Units.
Yeah. They were already great at 48 points.
But having 10 of them just running around the board.
Very tough to deal with. You know, that's where you do need something like your smite, your mortal wound output, your high damage weapons, which Grey Knights have the smites in abundance, but not when there's
one damage. They don't really. That's the thing. They don't. Not unless you go MSU, like multiple small units. For those of you
well,
watching.
If you'd have taken 6 strike squads instead of the Terminators with the points saving, you could have had another. You could have had another 10 interceptors running around.
Yes.
So you'd have had 2 units of 5 interceptors just zipping around the board for more smites, more DACA, more board control.
I could have had more than 2 units of 5 interceptors, I think.
How many points are they?
So what the interceptors are your interceptors, the jumping.
Yes.
They're 17 points each.
Okay, so
and then you pay for the Falchions and then the Storm Bolter.
You're looking around about 20 points there.
That's right. So you could do that, but you're saving in nearly 300 points if you drop those Terminators to Strike Marines. That's nearly 300 points, guys.
If you drop...
it's a big difference.
What, 175, 350... It's 525 points. So taking 2 units of the 90... 3 units of the 90s is 270. So that's... 260-ish points. Yeah, so nigh on the 300. So you could have had 3 units of 5 of those interceptors running around, just with a little bit more tweaking.
Yeah, which would give you some more extra smites, which is nice, and give you some more board control to get objective stuff like that.
Because they can shunt and they've got a 12-inch move anyway. They don't have an innate fly though.
They don't, no. But they do ignore terrain anyway.
So they could have dealt with those destroyers a bit more easily by just zipping.
So that was the other thing. The board was really tricky for me because you could plop yourself on top of any sort of building, and the Grey Knights don't, unless you have those interceptors, don't have anything to really get up there. So you're just sitting there not being able to be charged. And then that's the other thing, the Terminators are slower on top of that than a Strike Marine, because they only move to 5 inches.
The lack of AP is very painful. And I think especially so, given that we are in that sort of Marine meta where you kind of expect to see AP1, AP2 on your basic guys, for these, to have to spend 2 CP to get the AP, admittedly the extra strength is juicy as well, but to have to spend that AP to sort of get that sort of CP to get the AP, to get to that level is pretty crazy. I would like to see when they, we don't know what's going to happen with Psychic Awakening. I would love to see Cybolt ammunition become a 1 CP beginning of the game stratagem for every unit, like it was in sort of 5th and 6th and 7th, where you would pay.
That is some serious wish listing.
I know.
That's not going to happen.
That would be great.
Don't get me wrong. If it does, I'll be amazed and very happy. But if we go by the Psychic Awakening format, you're looking at maybe a discipline,
maybe,
and they might. I mean, it will be cool.
Maybe some new stratagems.
Yes, some new stratagems, or maybe some Brotherhood stuff. Like if you could fight in different Brotherhoods, that would be quite cool.
That would be really cool, actually. That would be very cool.
I mean, it's just an idea. Like, I would expect that, but I mean, they're not going to change the core strat.
No, but I mean,
That's
if
the
they,
problem.
they might call it something different. It's wish listing. Either way,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it would be. I
it's
think it would be
wish
cool to see it back as it used to be, of like an upgrade. You know, make them more expensive, but make them real high quality, which is what they should be. They should be, you know, apart from Custodes, pretty much the elitist of the Marines out there.
Yeah, they should be.
You know, they should be, when a force is plonked down, you should be like, oh no, oh okay, this could be tricky. But yeah, interesting. I think the Necrons, they played to their strengths. They utilised the speed of the Wraiths, and just the sheer amount of DACA that Tesla can throw out.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
super.
It's so good.
I think if you're running Sautech and you're not running an Overlord and Imhotech, you're making a mistake.
Especially now that they've both received points drops.
Yeah, to be able to get. I mean, actually, to be fair, this game, because of how the deployment worked, I really only ever had 2 that had it. But those last 2 turns where you could have 3, it's just like, see that unit there?
I don't want to.
I just wait and fire.
Yeah.
And that's even if it is Terminators on 2+.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
crazy.
just force the saves. I mean, you can have a 2-up save with your 10 wound guys, but when you've got to make 40 saves, you're going to fail a bunch. You are. But look, that was the game. I enjoyed that. It was very, very fun to see what the difference is. I mean, essentially, both of you just got more models to play with.
Yeah.
Which is always fun to play with more models. Can't argue with that, really.
More toys!
More toys!
Yay!
Toys before boys. If that's the aim of your game, normally an orc player would go for boys before toys.
Always boys.
Don't know where the orcs have come into this.
Orcs.
Well played, the both of you. Everyone at home, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time for another exciting battle report. I think we've run through all of the chapter approved 19 missions now, so we're just going to start going through them again.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already seen some of the ones that we're talking about, that's probably because they're over on demand. Check us out. We've got plenty more bat reports for your enjoyment. Voxcasts, reviews, you name it, it's probably over there. So if you've not signed up, give it a whirl. You'll probably like what you see.
Probably.
And if you don't, that's fine too.
You can just look at this eye candy.
I mean, you could do that too. Until next time, everyone, thanks for
Built a
joining us.
pyramid.
Oh no.
Yes, build that pyramid. Yeah.